So we've talked about stars, we've talked about star clusters, and now we want to talk about even larger structures in our universe, which are called galaxies. So we're going to begin by talking about our galaxy, which is the Milky Way galaxy. So the Milky Way galaxy is a spiral galaxy, which means that it's going to have a central bulge in the middle, which contains a lot of stars. And that's the reason why the central bulge is so bright, is because it has millions of stars in there, and each one of them is giving off light. Okay, then surrounding the central bulge is going to be the disk part of the Milky Way galaxy. And so this is the sideways view, but then if you look at the top-down view, then again you're going to see that central bulge, and then you're going to see arms coming off of it. So here are the arms that are coming off of the Milky Way galaxy, and we think that the Milky Way galaxy actually has two major arms, and then it has two minor arms that goes with it. But in general, a spiral galaxy is going to have multiple arms that is going to come off of it, and then these arms in turn can have little arms that come off of them as well. You should know for the exam where the sun is located at. So the sun is not in the central bulge. It's going to be located about 2/3 of the way out. So about 2/3 of the way out from the central bulge is going to be where the sun is located at, or you can say that it's located 28,000 light years out from the central bulge. So 28,000 light years out to here. Now the overall size of the disk part of the Milky Way galaxy is 100,000 light years. So if you wanted to travel from one edge of the disk to the other edge of the disk, it would take you 100,000 years traveling at light speed, the speed of light, in order to be able to get all the way across. Another way of looking at it is that if the Milky Way galaxy was the size of the entire United States, then our solar system would be the size of a quarter in comparison to that. So our solar system makes up a very, very small part. As a matter of fact, if we go back to this picture here, where we talked about the local group of stars that makes up our cluster, you notice that the diameter was about 20 light years. So if you go to this picture here and you try to scale it, so if this distance is 100,000 light years across, what would 20 light years look like? And it would be a single dot on this picture right here. So our local group is very small in comparison to the overall size of our galaxy. Okay, another thing that I would like for you to know is when you go out at night and you look up into the night sky, if you're in a very, very dark part of the country, you might be able to see the Milky Way galaxy. And the Milky Way galaxy is going to be this band of light that is basically going to go over the top of you. So why does it look like a band of light in the night sky? Okay, so I wanted to explain that to you. So let's pretend that this book here is the Milky Way galaxy. So the central bulge would be in the middle of the book right here. Okay, now let's go out 2/3 of the way out, so out to about here. That's where the sun would be located at. Okay, at night, you are going to be looking away from the sun. And so let's just say, for the sake of argument, that you would be looking in this direction, and you would be looking through the plane of our Milky Way galaxy. And so that's the reason why you're going to see this band of light in the sky You're actually looking through the plane of our Milky Way galaxy. Now, 6 months later, remember that the Earth is in orbit around the sun. So in 6 months, the Earth is going to orbit around the sun. So that means at night, you can't look this way anymore because you'd be looking at the sun. You have to be looking this way at night, and then you would be looking at the galactic bulge. And then, let's say 3 months later, you would be looking in this direction, and you, again, would be looking through the plane of the Milky Way galaxy, but you would see a different view of the Milky Way galaxy. So as the year progresses, if you were to go outside every night and look at the Milky Way, you would notice it's slowly changing because you're looking through it at different angles. Now, if on the other hand, so let's say again, you're looking up in the night sky and you're seeing this band, so you're looking through the plane of the galaxy. What about the stars over here and over here? What are you looking at? Well, then you would be looking, so here's our plane of our galaxy, you would be looking at the stars that are over here and the stars that are over here. So essentially you'd be looking at the halo stars if you were looking in this direction or this direction. So I'd like for you to be able to explain on the exam, why does the Milky Way galaxy from Earth look like a band of light that goes across the night sky? So what are some interesting features about the Milky Way galaxy? So it is 100,000 light years across, the disk part. The number of stars in the Milky Way is approximately 200 billion. 200 billion stars are in our galaxy by itself. And then we think that there's, roughly 100 billion galaxies in the universe. And each one of those galaxies could have 100 billion stars in it. I mentioned that our particular galaxy has 2 major arms and it has 2 minor arms. The rotational period of our galaxy is 240 million years. So that means it takes 240 million years for our galaxy to make one complete revolution. Then the rotational speed, so the sun, as this thing is rotating, that means that our sun has a velocity as it's being carried around. And so the speed of our sun as it goes around is 490,000 miles per hour. And then, in addition to that, our galaxy, in addition to doing this, is doing this. It's moving sideways through the universe. And it has a linear speed of 1,340,000 miles per hour. And then we think that in the center of our galaxy, there is a supermassive black hole that has the mass of equivalent to 4 million times the mass of our sun. And that's in the center of our galaxy. And we think that most galaxies have a supermassive black hole in the middle. So of this information, what should you know for the exam? So definitely make sure and know what the diameter of our galaxy is, and then know that a typical galaxy is going to have about 100 billion stars in it. Our galaxy is bigger, so it's got 200 billion stars in it. But if you just remember 100 billion, that will be good enough for the exam. Okay, let's take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the different parts of a galaxy.